Hi, Sean Huckster here. Welcome to the Mighty Max Rabbit Hole Awards. This is a series of short videos in which I go over some of my Mighty Max collection and choose the best and sometimes worst of the collection in various categories. Today's category, Best Exterior, Best Interior. Let's talk about the best exterior because it's easy. I don't have to open anything. I brought in 6 nominees. They're not all for the same category, but let's talk about the exteriors first. Let's start with the Nautilus. This is the only of the Mighty Max Doom Zones that opens on a vertical hinge, so it opens like a book rather than a jewelry box or something, or a box. And I have to say, this exterior is utter magic. I love this exterior. It is absolutely beautifully sculpted. I love the colors. I love the spots. I love this, supposedly the escape shuttle. I love the fact that when you pull on this, it locks the whole thing, unlocks the whole thing and lets you open it, but that is not part of the exterior. I mean, it is, but it's not the reason I like this exterior. I just think this is gorgeous. It is almost fossil-like in its beauty. Next is the Lizard. What can I tell you? This is stunning. The detail and the paint and everything they put into this is amazing. The fact that you turn this and the tongue comes in and out. I'm not going to open, well, I am going to open it, but this is supposed to be for the exterior alone. Look at this beautiful thing. You got feet here, a foot here, and this foot here is a monster, but again, we'll leave that for the interior. Next for the exterior is this beautiful thing. Beauty in simplicity. Look at this snake. This is very realistic looking. I love the fact that the scales are graded the way they are and textured. And then the paint on the green diamonds on this snake, absolutely beautiful. And the scorpion's tail inside that forms the rattlesnake tail is wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Exterior, I'm not going to do the Skull Dungeon because it is not one of my favorite exteriors. He's here for a different reason. And so these 3 I am going to nominate as Best Exterior. This gets very hard because when I start these videos, I don't necessarily know which is going to win. I'm taking the opportunity to remind myself what these are and how beautiful they are, or ugly in some cases, and just decide in the moment. I'm having a very hard time with this one because this is one of my favorite sets of all time. But then this one is absolutely gorgeous. And the simplicity and perfection of this one, it can't be denied. But, you know, when it comes down to the exterior, I'm going to go with the Nautilus. The Nautilus is absolute modeling perfection in my book. So that is your winner for the best exterior. Now, best interior has a few more nominees because the Nautilus is also on the nomination list for the best interior. This is opens up, like I said, like a book. This ramp folds down. This central piece comes out. This central piece has gears on it, or a tread on it, to show that that's how this crawls across the ocean floor. This whole piece here is very like Dr. Seuss-like, but I love it. Now, and it's got this little trap door, which functions like so. But when it comes down to it, the details in here are amazing. There are machine guns in here, like actual modern machine guns, and there's barrels. It is absolutely stunning interior. And this is the trawler, which fits in here. Closes. Oh, put the platform back down. And closes. And then it all locks when you put the shuttle in, and it snaps onto the pole. The interior of the Lizard. You can't get access to it until you open the head first. And the head opens, which unlocks the latch to open the front, the whole top part. I mean, wow. Without even touching anything or moving something or seeing what the function is, you're already assaulted by the gorgeous color combinations and the amazing details in here. This skeleton, which is supposed to be the interior of Max's pet lizard, Thor, has this piece that moves here, which is the part of the spine, which forms a trap or a cage. Then the feet, the villain of the ulcer, when you lift this bone, his kind of cage opens up, and this is ridged inside like it's an internal organ. This then is allowed to come free, and then of course there are skulls everywhere. This locks in place when the set is closed, like so. so that so that it can't come out. But the 5 fingers of this villain, and there are 5, form the foot of the lizard. But now you have other feet on the lizard too. You've got, the lizard has 4 feet, and these are not painted, but look, this foot continues on in here to an ulcer, just like the main one that does come out. And then another one here, this foot is this ulcer, and this foot is this ulcer, and these are all painted. But you also have an ulcer here, which whose tail is not painted, but it's there. And the interior works by, Max can slide down this slide inside the spinal rib cage, but it doesn't come down. Max doesn't come down until you open the passageway by moving the tongue, which then allows him to slide the rest of the way down into this pit here. That is artistic beauty right there. And then we have this. We already talked about this as the exterior, but the interior, it's so Indiana Jones. It is amazing. It is a mummy's tomb, an Egyptian tomb. There is a scorpion here. There's a little treasure chest here with a that's the goat god, I think, is on there. And then you have 2 hinged sections, one of which goes up a staircase, and this jaw folds down to reveal the treasure area, and a tongue. And over here, you've got 3 separate floors, and this sarcophagus opens up to reveal the mummy. And this rope in 2 pieces, by the way, if you get this, it's very hard to find both pieces. So if you get with both pieces, that's a good thing. This rope strings across and hooks into the mouth of the snake and forms like a bridge to slide over, but also keeps both pieces vertical. The interior of this with snakes and stone floor and stone walls and glyphs throughout, stunning, absolutely beautiful. Now, I didn't bring these up before because I didn't find their exteriors so great, but their interiors are wonderful. This is Skull Dungeon, and it opens up, and the jaw folds down, first of all, to form a stairway up. This is one of the first sets they made, but I really think they knocked this one out of the park in theme, because you've got, let's just face it, this is Frankenstein's lab. You have these power pillars here, which actually come off and then resituate here above the bed, which Frankenstein is, or Smasher, let's say, but let's face it, it's Frankenstein. The bed comes up, this lever moves, although it doesn't do anything. There is this hatch down here that opens and reveals a sticker showing a stairway down to a further dungeon. This power eye here. And then up here, you've got a dungeon with a bookcase here, but the bookcase is also a door that has a bookcase on one end, but also a trap or a dungeon door on the other, and that snaps into place here like so. And up here you have a basic office, like a villain's office. You got a roll-top desk, which I really wish would roll open, or even just flip open. And then you've got just like a lab and a chair. And then stairs and rocks and stones. You know, much as I didn't particularly love the exterior, I do love the interior of this one. Then we have the Cyclops. The Cyclops is another one of these great ones that you fold down the jaw first, you open it up, and then you open up the top part. Now, this is really clever too, because you have a little jaw here that acts as like a little kind of a dungeon area, sort of a cage, but you have these little miniature, this eye monster, this eye, kind of octopoid eye, has little babies down here, and they're down here in this like nursery. You've got the torturer here, he's the villain of the piece. Then when you lift the eye comes up and reveals a cage with Max inside. Now the cage comes off, and then there's Max. This is a Max from the Heroes and Villains set. Not the Max that goes with this set, but I put him in here anyway. Then you have this, let me remove the cage for a second again. Then you have this Iron Maiden torture device. And it's an Iron Maiden because you get little metal studs there. Now, they're not very long, but they're definitely getting the idea across that this is an Iron Maiden torture device. Then you've got a doorway back here that lifts up to another torture area. Then you've got this wonderful stairs going up here and up here. And then that stair goes up to the next deck. Now, there's skulls and skeletons everywhere here. Now, one of the things I like about this is this villain can be placed in various places on the set as if it was modeled to fit there. So, like, he will stand right here perfectly with his tentacles anchoring himself up here, but also going down into the little area below. And you can do this in various places all over this set. There's all sorts of places where he can stand, which doesn't necessarily look like he could, but he does. And when he goes back here, this forms the tongue when you close the set. And then up here, you got more torture devices. There's a guillotine here. This is the bucket, I guess, where the head goes in. And then there's torches and stairs going up. There's a noose here. Then you've got an electric chair, believe it or not. And this electric chair folds down to form a part of equipment in the lab below. And you know, I gotta say, this is a contender for best interior. And then the last of my nominees for best interior is Battle Cat. Again, the jaw folds down. There's a winch here, which indicates this is a time travel set, because this is a modern mechanical winch, which when you open up the top and remove the mammoth, apparently guides this cage. It lifts this cage. Supposedly that winch is probably there for that. And this is a spring-loaded cage, and this is a way to trap Max. Max fits in here. That goes underneath a gap in the mammoth. So it's perfectly situated to have Max sit there and then have the mammoth fit right over him. Then you've got dinosaur skulls and pieces everywhere. The ear of this one, which is supposed to be hair, and this one are the finger bones of a dinosaur. And then you've got other bones and things here. You get this entire skeleton rib cage here, skeletal rib cage of a mammoth, because it's green, and here's the skull of the mammoth. Then you get this odd looking skull here that could be anything. And then up top, you've got more skulls, more bones, another mammoth. You've got redstones here, and you've got this beautiful situation where these two wings fold out. And so, and inside there's a stone axe and another weapon and spears, I think. Then there's more, I guess, skulls and things. You've got a carcass hanging here by rope. Food, obviously. Over here, there's another carcass hanging here. And then the best thing I've seen in all the Mighty Max stuff is this joke here, where you've got the development of the wheel. You start with a triangle, then go to a square, then finally, eureka, they make a circular wheel. And I just have to say, this interior is absolutely wonderful in a lot of ways. So I'm going to put Max back briefly here. This Max doesn't fit there very strong, very sturdily. He just sort of sits there, but the mammoth goes back down over him. The mammoth's tusks form part of the Battle Cat's front teeth, and the jaw closes and snaps shut. And the detail here is absolutely stunning. Even the nose, look at the nose. It's so much like a wet dog's nose. It's absolutely wonderful. So this is the interiors. A lot of nominees. But I think I'm going to have to go with the lizard. Even though this evokes a beautiful Indiana Jones feel, and this evokes like Universal monsters, and this evokes wonderful feelings when you open up this one. But this is just so eclectic and wonderful. I think the best interior goes to Mighty Max and the Lizard. So coming up soon is going to be the best of the Doom Zones, and then the worst of the Doom Zones. So I hope you stick with me and watch that as well. See you soon. Bye.